So, an update on the lights. I got the other kit in, the additional 6 lights, and had most of them turned on while I was doing the install. I would plug them in series and they would come on. Really made a difference. I mean, it was exactly what I'm looking for. I just installed 4 coming in from that side, and I installed another 2 here. I've got 1 disconnected down here for now. We can go over that in a minute. But as soon as I got down and went over here to plug in the last ones, as soon as I hit that last one, how many do I have? I had 3, I added 6, so 9 total on the circuit. As soon as I plugged in that 9th one, poof, everything went dark. Thought, okay, well, maybe I got a bad connection. I did have to custom wire an interconnect because I didn't have enough. They don't basically plan on you using this as a complete add-on kit, so they think you're gonna have at least 1 wire coming in as the actual main, like a switched wire, but I needed all interconnects. So I just made my own from 2 of the bare wire ones, no big deal there. All right, thought I had a bad connection, so started jimming things around. Turned it off at the switch and it wouldn't go back on, no matter what I did. So I tried all the trims, I set the low all the way up, played around with the high a little bit. I could get it to kind of flicker, but it just wouldn't operate normally. So, okay, started working backwards and started unplugging things. And short version, I have this so hilariously overloaded, I'm surprised it was even firing as I was connecting stuff. So, admittedly, I didn't look at these ratings at all until now. I had just assumed they were much lower wattage than they are. Each one of these tubes is 44 watts, and that's LED 44 watts. That's a lot for LED lights. Well, these Caseta switches are only rated for 150. So I was like 3 times over the limit. Yeah. So I started unplugging stuff and basically boiled it down to the fact that 3, which I had initially, works absolutely flawlessly. 4 was kind of iffy. I would get this 1 tube here half flashing. So they really mean 150 watt limit. I did find a smart switch that's rated up to 1,000 watts, which is what I would need for this. Unfortunately, it's even more expensive than the Caseta switches, and it's on another protocol, and I would need another hub. You know what? I'm just giving up the smart control of these lights. It is minimally important. There's no Alexa out here. I haven't bought an extra dot for voice control in the garage. It's not that important anyway. So you know what? I'm just putting back in one of the regular old switches, which should work just fine. Now, the other issue that I'll find out here shortly is the instruction manual says only connect up to 6 of these in series. Now, that warning may be because they don't want you to overload the house circuit, in which case I'm fine. I have plenty of power coming through there. It's a regular switch. I got a nice big breaker on this circuit, and the garage door and the laundry room are the only 2 things else on this. And the laundry room is just a little 20 watt LED, so no big deal there. But they might mean it's gonna overload basically the first light in the circuit. So by having 7, 8, and 9 connected, number 1 just might go, no. I don't think so. So, as soon as I get this wired in, we will find out, and I'll try to fire it up. Man, that wall is dirty. Yes, it actually looks that dirty in real life. Yuck. Gotta clean that up. Anyway, we'll find out shortly. I'm gonna wire that switch. I'm gonna reconnect stuff. We'll see how many we can get firing on the circuit. Basically, I'm gonna put in as many as will work. It may be 6. Might be 7, 8, or 9 though. Let's find out. All right, we've got the switch connected. We have 2 lights wired in. Let's see if those work. Okay, let's wire in another 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the official limit in the manual. Let's go to 8. Okay, 8 works. Let's put back in number 9. Here we go, final test. All 9 on. Son of a bitch. Wait a minute, I don't have those wired right. Wrong one, stand by. Okay, let's try that again. All 9. Success. All right. So I can confirm that that rating is not due to the bulbs themselves, probably just some safety recommendation for your switch. So you could try it if you want to do more than 6. But oh man, does this make a difference. Now look at it. You can see down on the sides of the bikes, there's still shadows, but they're softer and they're blended in. Much easier to work on, much better for filming. I did shoot one test video out here a couple days ago. And I mean, there was plenty of light with just the 3, but now I can dial back the camera settings a bit. And won't have such high contrast. Love it. All right, on to the next project. So one other thing that I already got done is I trimmed off a bunch of the branches off the oak tree out front that I was talking about. These are all the little stuff that I cut up and stuffed into bags, barely got them to fit. This is full of the bigger stuff, and I just used the reciprocating saw. It actually worked really well. I did go out and buy a pole saw, and this helped get down one of the taller big ones. And it's cool because it has a little wing nut here, and you can take this off, and it's a nice handheld little saw. And of course, it extends up to like 20 feet or something. But then once I got it down, that reciprocating saw just buzzed right through the big stuff, and my snips went through the little stuff. You can see that I got everything off the sidewalk, so nothing's hitting any heads. Not quite low enough to do on the street yet. And I also took off the big branch that was going into my palms and actually killing some of the palm leaves right there. So those should rebound, and this should start spreading out more. There are a couple, I need to wait till I have some more free garbage space, but there are a few more that I need to trim in here that are interfering right on the edges of the palm. Basically, I'm gonna make this thing lollipop up above the palm. I don't need any of this stuff right here directly above the sidewalk, so I'll just trim those off. Pole saw will nip those really easily, and I'll get some more of these low-hanging new sprouts right here, just so they don't get out of hand later on. I already trimmed off a whole bunch that were coming down both sides of the tree. And that should do it. That should be all I need for a while. Not worried about the stuff over the lawn or above 10 feet over the street. That can just grow as it grows. And of course, I'm not gonna let anything go on the driveway. These here are just about, I could probably, yeah, I will trim off some of this, basically just like this, to get all this crap from coming on the driveway and eventually my car. These here, I'm gonna nip that in the bud before they get too big. Take out this one right here. This is gonna be hitting heads real soon. That's about 7 feet. I'm barely going underneath it. So we'll take care of all of that. That worked out real well, but I need more garbage space because I'm not gonna overload the guy too much. This is just part of it. I've also got several in the back and remnants of the HERF. I've got 4 or 5 regular garbage bags too. So it's an overcast day here, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see how bright those lights are. It's actually brighter than outdoors right now, and it's a nice even light. Yeah, that definitely worked out. So I need to put in an anchor and screw here for the clock after all, not for the weight. Surprisingly, this command strip, I had 4 of these, held up absolutely beautifully. The problem is I had to take it down because we just hit that stupid daylight savings rollback, and it came off no problem, off the Velcro, but I can't get it back on. There's no way to press and engage the Velcro. It was fine when it was brand new because I was applying the adhesive on the back end, but connecting the 2 bits of Velcro, I had 4 on here and 4 on the wall, they wouldn't press together. I could align them fine, but they would just barely touch. So absolutely no way of getting it back on once you take it off. So no big deal, it's gonna live here probably forever. One anchor and screw isn't gonna kill me. I don't remember if I showed it, but the brackets came in a couple weeks ago for my surround speakers. And you can see I've got them mounted under the desk. This is about where you want them for absolute perfect rear sound. You want them well back from the edge of the desk so that when you're in your chair, none of the sound is gonna come back at you directly. It's gonna go behind you and bounce off your wall or whatever, and it's gonna sound like it is behind you. And these brackets just go up, they're made for ceiling mount. screw it into the back of the speaker. Bada bing, bada boom. Super easy. So I'm still deciding what to do about the mold and drip problem. I definitely want to repaint, so I'm looking into paints now. I was gonna maybe do one of those garage coatings, the layout or the squares or whatever, but it wouldn't be durable enough. Certainly not durable enough for rolling around the huge umbrella that's like 200 pounds. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm definitely gonna stick with some type of application. Not sure if it's going to be paint or epoxy. I'm really leaning towards paint. I did find some mold and mildew resistant paints made for painting the concrete around pools. It's just a little expensive, so I'm just weighing options in the same price range, but that would definitely take care of the problem. And I need to repaint anyway to get rid of all the defects that were here when we moved in. Now you can see all the square marks here. This is just from stuff sitting. These pots are metal, and I don't know why, but they are leaving some kind of oxidizing residue on top of the surface. I think they're just cheap Chinese steel because they are rusting pretty badly. I think I'm gonna have to paint all of these because these are the marks from the tiki torches. And I just painted those. They're drying. I'll bring them in a little bit later today, but I think I'm going to use the rest of that can to paint all of these metal. Just these three. This round one that's plastic, right? Yeah, that's plastic. Or I'll just buy some wicker or plastic pots or something to put these in so they're not in direct contact, but they're leaving a mess. Luckily, that's just on the surface. It's not yet eating through the paint or anything like that. All this stuff is plastic and wicker holding up just fine. And, thankfully, worked out beautifully for the HERF. That was awesome. We had a peak of 25 people here, plenty of room, had a great poker round, lots of drinks, lots of cigars, lots of food. That was awesome. This is just trash from the HERF. Waiting to take it up front because it's got a whole bunch of stinky cigar butts and everything in here, so I'm not keeping that in the garage. I'm definitely doing something different with the switch. While it's convenient and it's a good place for it physically as far as an extension switch, it's really annoying to have to bend down here, especially when I'm coming in and I'm holding a bunch of equipment. I'm used to it being up high or at least near head level, so I'll do something with that and maybe tape it to the wall just with some double-sided tape where I can just easily hit it when I have a handful of camera and microphone and cutter lighter, whatever, coming in the house. That's just not working for me as a routine. And there we go. That'll work. Now to close out today, I'm gonna leave you guys with a big tip that unfortunately I just found out about at Lowe's. I wasted hundreds of dollars because of the way I bought all my Lutron switches. If, like me, you're doing the whole house or just more than, say, 5 switches, order them through the Lowe's Pro Desk. I'm sure Home Depot has a similar program. If you order the switches in bulk, more than, say, 5, I don't know how many you put in, 15, 18, somewhere around there, you save between 25 and 30%. Goes up in tiers with the amount of dollars that you're ordering. Only downside is you can't take from store stock. They have to be ordered in, so it takes a few days. But man, would have been so worth it basically to get, 5 or 6 of my switches free. That's what I missed out on. So hit up the Pro Desk, order in bulk, and save yourself a lot of money. The more you order, the more you save. That's it. See you next time.